We're here with Ravi Shankar Prasad, the Honorable Minister for Communication and Information Technology for the Government of India. Mr. Prasad, first of all, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Why are you here at ICANN55? Why is it important for India to have a strong presence here?
Well, the reasons are very simple. India today is a very important player in the internet architecture. We have 1 billion plus mobile phones in India. Internet penetration is 400 million. Indians love technology, they explore technology, and we are involved in some very transformational program in India: Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, Stand Up India, Smart Cities. All these are internet-based initiatives seeking to empower, enlarge, educate, and also in many ways giving good health, e-commerce, e-education. If that is the scenario, ICANN, being the most important voice of internet governance, becomes a significant port of call. Therefore, I have come. I've got a very high-level delegation. We have the Deputy National Security Advisor is there. My officers of my departments are there at the very senior level. This is how we see it. Internet is important.
In ICANN53 in Buenos Aires, Argentina, you were quite vocal in support of the multi-stakeholder model. Why is the multi-stakeholder model so important?
It is important for 3-4 clear reasons. Internet belongs to all, yet it is owned by none. And the spread of internet, civil society have played a role, government has played a role, private sectors have played a role. Therefore, by the very nature of its expansion, it is a multi-stakeholder product. We, coming from a democracy, we are very proud of our democracy, free movement of ideas, the great enterprise of Indians. Therefore, multi-stakeholder was the natural area of choice for us. But having said that, we have also flagged one issue, that national security is equally important. Today, not only India, many parts of the world are facing the scourge of terrorism. And those who sponsor, who patronize, who protect, equally abuse ICT for these highly vicious campaigns. Therefore, government must have a crucial role to play as far as security is concerned. That's how we see it.
Let me ask you this. What is the significance in your mind of the transition from the stewardship of these key internet functions from the U.S. government to the global internet community?
Well, when you ask me this question, I must appreciate the profound role of America in the spread of internet. It began from there. I was just telling Steve, an outstanding leader in the field of spread of internet. I had a luncheon meeting with him.
You're talking Steve Crocker?
Yeah. Now, internet is no more America. Internet belongs to the world. And as my favorite quote is, internet is one of the finest creations of human mind. It should not become the monopoly of few. And if internet is to be global, it must have connection with the local. That being the case, transition is important. I appreciate the role of America in facilitating that. Therefore, we have also taken a position as being true, outstanding democracies of the world, espousing the cause of freedom, civil society. India and US also need to work closely together while this whole transition is going on and the overall functioning of ICANN and allied activities in the course of time.
It sounds like from what you're telling me that India intends to have a very active role in terms of internet governance.
Yes, we wish to. We came late here. You saw me on technology speaking from video in the Buenos Aires conference, but now I am present in person with a high-level delegation, and we intend to get engaged because internet is important, ICANN is important, and the destiny of the world is equally important. And don't forget one thing, India today is one of the biggest consumer of internet, and Asia and India are going to play a very crucial role in the expansion of internet and all the other allied activities. That being the case, emerging economies Developing world also need to have a very powerful voice in ICANN.
Well, on that note, let me follow up on that. Describe for me the Digital India program. And to your point, what is the vision and how can this be a model for developing nations?
Well, I must tell you, India today is informing very transformational programs. What is Digital India? Digital India has three components. We create a digital architecture for Indians. Number two, we digitally empower Indians. And number three, digital delivery of services. Now, as I told you, we have 1 billion plus mobile phone. 60% of our internet is mobile based. Our PM has said governance must be available in the mobile phone of every Indian. Now, just to give you the scale on which we work, we have an e-Tal portal where we gauge all the digital delivery of services automatically registered in state of the center. By the last count, we are touching 550 million every month.
Wow.
We have started a new program, and what is that? Unique identification card, Aadhaar, where we are digitally profiling every Indian for digital delivery of services, subsidy, directly into their bank account. Now we have 980 million Indians whose digital identity is complete. If that is the whole architecture, you can understand what kind of profound change it will lead on health, on education, on empowerment, on digital delivery of services, on promoting new business. Now, what is Startup India? India has the highest number of new startups after USA in the last few years. We are encouraging them. Electronic manufacturing, we are encouraging. Smart cities, 100 we are bringing in them. And we are also taking on board those who are on the margins, the poor, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. That is Stand Up India. The banks and the government must support their enterprise.
So extrapolating from that, it sounds like you're saying those specific issues are actually quite relevant for stakeholders from a lot of emerging countries, correct?
Yes, why not?
Yeah.
Skill India. What is Skill India? An organized skilling program down from the village to the higher level to make Indians fully skilled in leveraging the benefits of this digital destiny. Surely, India's experience can be replicated world over. Why not?
What do you see the role of governments, not just the Indian government, but all governments within the ICANN framework?
Well, my general observations are that government, as far as policy formulation is concerned, the government needs to have a role. But that policy formulation should not be framed by the government alone. That formulation also, the briefing must come from the stakeholder. That's the one thing. More participative process. The second, security aspect must remain the primary concern of the government, as I said earlier, because that is, you have to be accountable to the people for securing them. Thirdly, the government can act in the role of a facilitator. Because remember one thing, facilitation is important. As I told you, we are linking 250,000 clusters of villages, which we call Gram Panchayat, by optical fiber network. We are spending government funding. It's a huge program. Therefore, creating the ecosystem for digital destiny and bridging the digital divide remains also an important obligation of the government.
It sounds like you're telling me governments should definitely have a voice. They shouldn't necessarily be the only voice, but they should have a voice.
Obviously, when we talk of multi-stakeholder, the government remains one of the stakeholders. Why not? For India, we are very proud of our civil society. They have done a great job. The private players, in making India an ICT powerhouse, our private sector has played a very crucial role. They are also a stakeholder, as in any part of the world.
Fascinating. Minister Prasad, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.